One day I might get better at this. Hold on. There we go. I'm in focus. Kind of. So, I feel like I have to catch you up to speed, but the thing is that even if when I know that even when I'm talking, it might be difficult to follow along with what I'm trying to say. So bear in mind that this whole thing is an experiment and a process. It is not an obligation for you to watch at all. It's more like an accountability measure for me to actually speak what's going on in my brain and not just letting it gesticulate in there. Gesticulate? Is that the word? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So, I did this money exercise again with a $10,000 fake money laid out on the table, counted out. And yesterday, just yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm not worth this money, blah, blah, blah. You know, what would I ever do with this amount of money? And today it was like, okay, come on, pay up. Yeah, I'm worth it. Like, let's go. And it's interesting how, like, oh, does that mean I'm entitled to this money? Da da da. Like, isn't it funny how this is? I'm telling you, this is showing me how much money is a spiritual practice. Anyway, so I laid it all out, and I see 10 piles of 10 $100 bills. I'm like, cool. And as I was counting out all that, it was like, the instruction was like, okay, but you gotta pay your tithe, right? And don't just like put one aside, like take one from each pile. So then I'm looking at 11 piles, right? And now I know that like it's the same amount of money. But looking at it this way, it's like my brain doesn't really see a difference. It's like, oh, you just added more money. Like, you're fine. And then I thought about the book Prosperity Consciousness. It was like, a part of all you earn is yours to keep. So I took that 10% and I was like, okay, that's mine. That's mine to keep. Right? And then I was like, well, I still have to do the tithe. And it's interesting because even the principle of tithing, growing up in church, it was always sort of like, it was kind of the commercial part of going to church, right? It was all right, we gotta sell you on how to get the money out of your pocket. And we're not trying, we're not really doing it. It should be your choice, but you remember, like that kind of thing. And we're kind of removed from like the agricultural principle of it. Like, of course you would hold on to a portion of your seeds for like the next year, or you would hold on to a portion of your field where you allow it to rest that whole year, and then you come back to it later, right? That giving, even just to your community, is an exercise of letting go, trusting, and really giving energy to the people that are giving energy around you, right? They're giving so that, when you think about it that way, it's a lot easier to tithe, and it begs the question of like, who actually, like, where is the storehouse? Like, is it the church because they say so? Are they also tithing? Are they also contributing to the community? Are they buying super nice shoes while I'm kind of wondering where my next meal's coming from. Like, that is a real tension. And unfortunately, it also kind of is like, then you start to think like money's bad. Money is a symbol of trust. And even though our money says in God we trust, this one says in terms of toys, because it's fake money. But especially since, the dollar bill is the reserve currency, so it's really resting on like the efficiency of our government. And interesting, like, because I was like, what am I getting out of this exercise? I'm just printing money. I can just print money. I can make myself feel better with dollar bills, but like, what's the actual value, right? Like, I'm treating it differently than, say, somebody who's like really earned that $1, or like, or even earned their first 100,000. But what I'm doing with this exercise is getting a tangible way for my child self to really understand, because we live in a world that's like credit cards, banking systems, crypto. It's an abstract number that just kind of goes up and down, and we're not always seeing like, we're not always understanding the exchange. Okay. I said something there, but I'm going to go back. So I pulled, it was weird because I pulled the second tenth out, and I was like, oh, that's the tithe. I'm doing it second. It's not the first fruits. Like, all of these things are coming up with fake money, but it's real things. It's real contemplations that happen, right? It's wild. Okay. So then I looked and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I have this spread of money. I was like, okay, how much is taxes? So I put like 3 piles over there. I was like, how much does it cost for me to live? And I put a few piles over there. And then I only had I had a certain amount. And I was like, okay, that's the actual number. That if I had that, it would make a remarkable difference to me, because I don't even know how I would spend that much money. Like, not $10,000, not 6, not like, just this amount that's extra. If someone gave that money to me today, what would I do with it? My first instinct, I know myself that I would save it first, because I don't know what to do with it. But like, I wrote some things down, paying off a loan, paying for a nice personal trainer, like a real good one. Like, let's get this going. Also, I'm going to CrossFit. Like, we had a great workout. I couldn't do anymore right now. So maybe a nutritionist. Months off. Like, maybe I'd pay for a couple months where like, I don't have to do anything for nobody. Or to travel, or to give a gift to my parents, or a gift to give someone else, like my husband. Or maybe a new wardrobe, but then like, am I gonna buy a wardrobe to fit this body that isn't fit? Like, the best part of your wardrobe is your body. So, I wouldn't want to spend clothes if I know a transformation's on the way, right? Maybe it's equipment for the business, but like, that's a business expense. Like, what would I spend on me? And maybe pay off a medical bill, right? And like, oh, how much has that been weighing on me that I kind of like, whoa. And I know it's funny because I'm thinking the reason I pause because I know that somebody's watching this. I mean, if somebody's watching this, I know even if someone's not watching this, that there are people who would know exactly what to do with a little extra money, right? And are mad at me because if you don't know what to do with it, give it over here, right? Like, I know what to do, right? But I think it's an important question for all of us to answer because if you had it even just a little bit extra, like, how would that replenish yourself? My battery's running low. And not just that, but also like, what are the things that you gravitate toward that you would do with it? And what does that say about me? Like, what are my patterns in this? That's really interesting to me. Like I said, I would probably save it first and not buy a new wardrobe. But like, if it was extra and you could do anything you want, and like, do I create hesitation even when there's no reason to have a hesitation? Do I think I need to save for a rainy day when I literally just was handed abundance? Is that stewardship, or is that playing small? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay, that's it. I'm tired of holding this camera. Thanks for tuning in, if you did. Making it this far, if you did. It's not... I don't know when this is gonna... I don't know. It's just me thinking out loud as a part of my own process and healing and exploration. And I appreciate the support, feedback, or whatever that you want to give. Thanks.